and YouTube. Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this video I'll be reacting to one of the early uploads from the YouTube channel The Game Terrorists. I'm a huge fan of their work and I hope that you will like this video as well. This video came out in the year 2016, so I think it's around 5 years ago. And I'm pretty sure that you like this video because it's about Pewdiepie. So yeah, let's start.
Right now, my CPM is very low. My CPM is very low. It should be way higher. When I was doing the daily vlogs, I noticed how poorly they perform. At 50 million subs, I am deleting my channel.
You did not delete that channel. I mean, come on, in 2020, you got 1,000 million subscribers. And come on, I only have 20 subscribers right now.
That was the joke.
Well, since you're sticking around a bit longer, let's fix that channel of yours. Hello, Internet! Welcome to YouTube Theory.
Hello, YouTube Theory Part 2.
Part 2. Now, last time we left off, we were dropping all sorts of knowledge about the YouTube algorithm, about how it favors longer videos, promotes channels that get viewers to come back on a daily basis, and churns over videos faster and faster, causing the viewership drops that you've been seeing everyone from Poods to Jack to Keem talk about over the last 2 months. And where exactly are those views going to? Here. Quality children's programming. But honestly, for as bad as the last episode made things sound, blaming YouTube isn't the complete story. If only it were that simple. Because yes, while the algorithm certainly plays a part in the viewership drop, it's just a symptom of a much larger problem. One that spans all of media from YouTube to Facebook to TV and beyond.
Let's be honest, even in 2020, the algorithm is still, So 2016?
One that doesn't have an easy solution. There's a lot more to unpack here, but before I get too far ahead of myself, let's take a minute to look back at poor old Pewds' channel and get him some views back. Because damn it, his toad needs to eat! So the view drop we covered last time is in part tied to the algorithm, but he's also got himself to blame. Felix, my bro, I love you in a strictly platonic way and that raspy voice that you get when you get all excited, my bro.
No.
How do you do it? Like, oh my gosh.
I'm not gonna let YouTube win.
But your channel has changed drastically over the course of 2016. I just made you sound like a Southern Belle or something, but whatever. But it's especially changed over the last few months. I ran the numbers and the Pewdiepie channel for the last year has uploaded anywhere between...
Oh my god, it's so cute. He only has 51 million subscribers. Right now he has more than twice of that number, so yeah.
24 videos on the low end to about 50 videos on the high end each and every month. Producing that amount of work is incredible and should absolutely be applauded, but it's what's in those videos and how they're being packaged that's hurting your overall view count. You see, where it used to be 90% gaming and 10% this,
Hey!
now only 3 to 5 videos a month are you actually playing a game, with everything else being the randomness. Cringe compilations, sketches, rants, your toad pooping on you, drinking urine. And sure, while a portion of your audience is certainly coming for you and your personality, there's also a large portion who are coming coming for you gaming. So when multiple weeks are filled with vlogs, or at the very least, a bunch of titles and thumbnails that don't look anything like your traditional gaming thumbnails, well, you're gonna feel a drop. And if they don't click enough of those videos, then those subscribers will burn out of your channel and no longer see notifications from you. They're not getting the content that they originally subscribed for. So that's certainly part of the problem, but there's a bigger issue at play. Remember, at its core, YouTube is a search engine. The second largest search engine online, in fact. Second only to, you guessed it, Google.
Yeah, I know. So that's the reason why even in 2020, we still use YouTube a lot. A lot.
A search engine that's owned by, again, you guessed it, Google. Man, you guys are really good at guessing. And YouTube's #1 job is to act as a matchmaker. You ask it for a 10-hour video of taffy pulling, because it's what I like to fall asleep to, okay? And yeah, it serves up what should be the best matches. It's basically eHarmony, but with less divorce.
Something that is very similar to ASMR when you go to sleep.
So knowing that, it's useful to think of YouTube like a mini internet. Each channel is like your own personal domain, your own personal site, and each video that you upload creates the equivalent of a new web page for that overall site. And I gotta say, it really blows away the site that I created for my computer science class back in college. Ooh, look at that
Secret link.
sweet Web 2.0 flair. Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh my god, he looks so young.
Gentlemen, that is the reason why I am not a programmer. But unlike a Google search, which is looking at web pages filled with text all about your Rogue One review or custom bath salt collection or love of exotic butters, YouTube has a problem. It doesn't really know what's on every page. Sure, it tries to listen to the video, but any closed caption translation video has shown you how well that one works out. It literally took my exotic butters remix and thought it was saying neurotic huggers.
Neurotic huggers. I mean, what?
So instead, YouTube has to rely on the metadata that creators are putting into their videos. The title, the tags, and the description. And when so much of YouTube traffic is based around suggesting videos against each other or serving it up in searches, those little search phrases end up making a huge amount of difference. And that's the danger with your new videos, Felix. You see, with things like I got hit by a car vlogs and we need to talk updates, sure, people will click because of clickbait. You even said it yourself.
You know, we started doing this clickbait joke just to kind of draw people in.
And more on that one later, but after that first wave of clicks, there's just nothing to suggest them against. There's no key search phrases in there that YouTube can use and say, oh, yeah, this video belongs alongside all the other toad shit on me videos. Surprise, surprise, but there just aren't that many other channels drinking piss for views or getting themselves Pewdiepied in the face. But that explains why your Halloween makeup tutorial did so well. It was being suggested alongside other Halloween makeup tutorials. It's also why gaming works so well on YouTube, because the title of every game that you play, every publisher that touches the game, even the console that you play it on, is a keyword that's gonna help you get suggested against other people playing that same game. Wanna know why Keemstar, Phil DeFranco, and lots of other news and drama channels have done so well this year? Every title is filled with highly searchable keywords that at the time no one else was optimizing for.
Oh, highly searchable keywords. That's interesting. That's interesting. Huh.
I.e. other YouTubers' names. It's not like Pewdiepie is using his own name in the titles of his videos all the time, but a channel that does is gonna get themselves served up when someone types Pewdiepie into the search bar. It even explains away the continued domination of toy and dress-up channels for kids. The reason they're so big is that kids and their parents from across the world are searching for phrases like Cars, Toy Story, Frozen, and of course they're looking for clips from the movie, songs from the movie, anything. But they don't exist. They can't exist on YouTube because of copyright ID. And because of that, search results are populated with the next best thing. Fan-made creations using Toy Story, Cars, and Frozen toys or costumes. And because the videos are long and literally have no other competition, they show up on the top of search results, get views, since the kids and their parents aren't clicking off, and grow to tens and hundreds of millions of views as more and more people get funneled in, and the cycle just repeats itself. But that's garbage content, especially for kids, I hear you thinking. YouTube should curate those things to make sure that the good videos stay at the top. Why don't they give a boost to promote the shorter, more premium, higher quality videos? And those are all great questions. You're asking the right thing. And that brings us to the true root of the problem, the base on which this whole problematic pyramid is built.
The algorithm, creator, clickbait, the viewer. Us.
The viewer. Us. Our behavior. That's right, I'm saying that throughout all of this, we're the problem.
What? We are the problem?
Now before you get upset, stop and think about it. As we covered last time, YouTube's algorithm promotes videos that get lots of watch minutes, meaning that people have to be willing to watch it in the first place for it to promote those videos. If you clicked off the video in the first few seconds, the algorithm would guarantee that it didn't get more views. It's actually how YouTube cured the trend of misleading thumbnails a few years ago. People would click on the video, not get what they came for, and then click off a few seconds later, and YouTube's like, well, clearly this video didn't deliver on its promises, so off to the realm of forgotten Fred videos with you. But if you're leaving these videos on, you're telling matchmaker YouTube, yeah, this was a great match for my search. This is entertaining. And YouTube responds by serving that video to more people. The system deems what is good and what is bad based on how long that you watch. Honestly, why shouldn't it? If it's not good, then why the hell are you watching? Well, MatPat, what a good hypothetical question. Let me give you the
Did you just answer yourself from a third person, no, fourth person point of view? Huh. It's like Deadpool.
answer. It's all built on our brain's innate failings. Let's start with the decision to click in a section I like to call Why the Internet Hates Clickbait But Still Falls for It. Jean Piaget, famous child and developmental psychologist in what is sometimes referred to as his disequilibrium theory, concluded that the human brain hates being unbalanced. It hates being unresolved. That's why when you hear an unresolved music chord like this, you feel uncomfortable, uneasy, nervous, or your brain just jumps ahead and automatically resolves it to this. So much better. So now I could be a real jerk and play it again, and then just let it sit there until the end of the video. But I won't.
Oh, you won't.
I just like you guys too much. But it's just like Cartman not being able to hear the lyrics of Come Sail Away without completing the whole song. Or the reason it feels so good to check things off a to-do list or empty your email inbox. Good stories work the exact same way. You don't know what happens next and are just eager to keep on reading. And video titles are like mini stories. So videos with titles like, I can't believe this happened, or Why YouTube is deleting my channel, put you into that unresolved state. They give you half the story, but you need to see how it ends. And so you click to resolve the tension in your brain. And what you find on the other end is probably gonna be disappointing or an outright lie.
But it's a clickbait, isn't it? Huh.
Probably a combination of both. A disappointing lie. So you would think that after being burned so many times that people would just learn and stop clicking, right? And yet, it still works. But why? Because the human brain is really dumb. No joke, no exaggeration. You see, dopamine is a neurotransmitter in your brain that acts like a reward. You eat good food, boom, shot of dopamine. You beat a night in FNAF, boom, dopamine. You watch an episode of Game Theory, boom, huge dopamine. But
That's I don't want to disagree. Yeah.
when it comes to clickbait, the dopamine shot comes before you actually click. It's the anticipation of the reward, the thought of clicking that gets you the reward, not the actual video on the other end. Which actually goes a long way to help explain why like-dislike ratios aren't worse on clickbaity videos that don't actually deliver on the clickbait. You're still high off of giving the video a click, so hey, let's just give it a like too. And get this. Disappointing videos actually make the reward stronger. Science has shown that when there's a payoff only 50% of the time, the times when you get rewarded, dopamine goes through the roof because now it's a gamble. You're not guaranteed to get a reward. It's like opening a loot box in Overwatch, a FIFA pack opening, finding rare Pokemon cards, or unwrapping hundreds of stupid surprise Kinder eggs for the enjoyment of prepubescent children to the tune of 264 million views. choose. Sure, you're disappointed most of the time, getting a bunch more useless sprays or another round of Pokemon energies, but the rare instances that you get an M9 bayonet in CSGO, the reward is that much stronger. So on YouTube, each video is like its own mystery egg, a chance to either get a great experience or be disappointed and move on to the next one. As Robert Sapolsky, professor of biology and neurology at Stanford University says, quote, "You've just introduced the word maybe into the equation, and maybe is addictive like nothing else out there." It's also worth mentioning that there's a huge emotional component tied in with all this, but I go much more in depth about that over on the new film theory that released as a part of this video, so I'll dive a whole lot more into that over there.
Film theory!
But now let's talk about once you've clicked. What is keeping you on this crap video? Well, you're gonna watch because quite frankly, our brains are not only dumb, but they're also lazy. You see, we live in a world where there are thousands of choices that we make every day. Just look at a trip to the grocery store, which I don't know about you, is a really overwhelming experience for me. You want a jar of pasta sauce, right? But it's not just grab a jar, you have to decide what brand to choose, then if you want it chunky or smooth, then spicy or not, then is the price okay? There is no less than 3 or 4 choices for one item on your shopping list. We assume as a society that more choices mean better options and greater satisfaction. I mean, I wound up with the perfect pasta sauce for my individual tastes, so I should be happy. But the process of getting there was really tough. And this all relates to the concept of decision fatigue. Think of the brain like a muscle, but unlike lifting weights,
So the phrase is decision fatigue. Huh. The more you know.
your brain gets a workout by making decisions. Small decisions like what I should eat for breakfast are a 2-pound weight, not super exhausting. But big decisions like should I buy this house or where should I go for college are like the barbells you see Olympic weightlifters dealing with. Heavy and exhausting. And just like any muscle, the brain gets tired out if you use it too much. For instance, judges in court have been scientifically shown to make less favorable decisions later in the day than they do earlier in the day.
What? I mean, what? That's not okay. People's lives are at stake.
Sucks for you about that shoplifting charge. It's also the reason why you're likely to impulse buy at the end of a shopping trip. You've exhausted your willpower not to buy things, constantly making the decision of no, 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 so by the end of the day, you actually just start to spend more. So now, think about watching videos on YouTube. There are millions of them, but unlike, say, TV that I can just flip on and let play in the background, each video I watch online requires me to make a choice. I have to click it, or search for it, and then click it, or find the annotation and click, or whatever. And sure, that's not really hard. It's the equivalent of that 2-pound weight. But when you have to make that decision over and over again, your brain's gonna start to get tired. Or when presented with too many choices, people tend to avoid decisions entirely, a phenomenon called decision avoidance. Research by Eingar and Lep.
So there's something called decision fatigue and decision avoidance. Wow. I mean, wow. Seriously. I mean, I'm pretty sure the audience doesn't know that, right? It's quite educational to learn about something new.
Found that people who had more choices were often less willing to decide to buy anything at all, and their subsequent satisfaction was lower when they had been confronted with 24 or 30 options than they did when they were faced with 6. And what do you have on YouTube? Literally dozens of choices available, from the sidebar of suggested videos to the annotations on the screen to the iCards to the search bar to the subscription feeds. The list goes on and on, so it's just easy.
The list goes on and on. And on and on and on and on. Strangers. Why am I singing this song?
Easier to sit back and watch. You think YouTube rolling out autoplay as a feature was a coincidence? Quite honestly, it's the same thing that happened on TV. Production companies were spending millions trying to create new scripted dramas and comedies. Most of them would flop, and on rare occasions you would get a hit. But then came in reality TV, where you literally throw a bunch of unpaid randos from the street into interesting situations or follow the lifestyles of people with unusual lives, and boom, you had a hit. It wasn't good necessarily, but people would just just sit back and watch because it was there, and it was easier to let play than to find something else that would be better. Plus, the shows did just enough to make you question whether or not Khloe Kardashian would get that tattoo on her butt. She didn't. And best of all, for the production companies, it was a whole heck of a lot cheaper to make. Reality TV thrives on the clickbaity, decision fatiguey nature of entertainment these days. YouTube is just the next evolution. Sure, it's easy to complain about YouTube being broken or channels being clickbaity, but at the end of the day, those are just the end result of the real problem here. Us as viewers. YouTube isn't broken. We are. What you have with retention time algorithms and clickbait videos are systems built around how people watch. It's our watch habits that are the problem, and no amount of algorithmic change is gonna fix it. No, it's our job, our responsibility as viewers to make sure that we're watching and sharing higher quality content, that we're being discriminating in our tastes, that if we support a creator, we support them in whatever they do. Vlogs or no, clickbait or no, bad thumbnails or no, because if we don't, then we run the risk of them disappearing and being replaced by the next easiest to produce thing. And once that happens, that's when the problem gets really severe. Something that we've already seen earlier this year with the election news coverage. And that is the topic over on Film Theory right now.
Oh man, you should have said that, come on. This video did not age well. I mean, the content is educational, but your reference did not age well. My gosh.
Exploring the terrifying end result of a clickbait society. So please, go and watch that one right now. I feel it's an important video that does a good job of closing out this unofficial trilogy exploring YouTube and viewer behavior. So, let me not overwhelm you with choices. Watch that video right now by clicking this video clip, or the link in the description if you're on mobile. And if you liked what you saw, click the channel logo right here to subscribe for more game theory. Don't worry, I'll be back to normal games next week, but I felt it was really important to take a couple weeks to make these videos and address the situation, because the way that we handle our online entertainment is truly going to shape the future of what we see, what we think, and where the world goes from here. And that's no exaggeration, so thank you all for sticking with me through them. And in the meantime, remember, that's just a theory. A YouTube theory. Thanks for watching.
Thank you. But hey, anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you will like this video as well and support and show appreciation for the YouTube channel The Game Theorists. Their videos are awesome and very educational. Makes you really think hard about it, you know, and try not to have too much of decision fatigue, a digital avoidance. If you do like this video, please consider to like, share and subscribe to my channel and comment down below if you have anything to share with us. And in the meantime, that's just a theory, a YouTube theory. Thanks for watching. Oh, by the way, this is the last video in which the Game Theorists uploaded in 2016, I think, 2016, yeah.